6 types of motivated sellers to target. Motivated seller. A seller of property, for example, a residence or a property, which is compelled to entertain reasonable offers from prospective buyers. The motivation may come from economic circumstances or desire to abandon ownership. The buyer is often able to purchase the property at a reduced price or under favorable terms. Real estate investing can be extremely lucrative, particularly when managing motivated sellers. A steady stream of motivated seller leads is the single greatest component for real estate contributing business achievement. Working with motivated sellers opens buyer up to more innovative contributing conceivable outcomes, expands the quantity of real estate speculation deals buyer do, and keeps more cash in buyer pocket as far as in advance expenses and benefits potential. Year in and year out, absentee landlords, probate estates and different sorts of motivated sellers are hoping to sell their properties outside the streams of the traditional real estate cycle. 1. Landlords. Landlords get unwelcomed calls about broken dishwashers or need to manage to be a huge number of miles far from a tenant who has devalued the estimation of their property. It's not something to be thankful for, and everybody has a limit of what they can withstand. Every area keeps up a rundown of Segment 8 landowners. Not an awful place to begin. 2. Absentee landlords. This sort of seller is separated and withdrawn with the property for reasons unknown and are hoping to empty it, since despite everything they're paying property taxes and overseeing upkeep. Search for empty homes, unkept yards, daily papers heaping up, and so on. 3. Facing foreclosure. A seller confronting foreclosure or delinquent taxes can be an unbelievably troublesome time for a homeowner. They're conceivably confronting absolute bottom and need to sell their property rapidly or they totally lose it. 4. High equity owners. This kind of seller has claimed the property for over 10 years or possesses the home without a worry in the world. This sort of seller has greater value and more opportunity to sell at a markdown rate. Be that as it may, they may likewise hope to get a full estimation of the property. 5. Probate. A home in probate can be a test chiefly on the ground that it's hard to know whether a house is in probate or not simply by taking a glance at it. At times a buyer can find probate properties by experiencing the tribute in the nearby paper. It's practically difficult to know whether a house is probate property or not when buyer takes a glance at real estate listings, so the buyer needs to do somewhat more research. One place buyer can discover a probate property is by experiencing tribute in the nearby daily paper. In the event that buyer has some cash to spend, he can purchase information from privately owned businesses with respect to accessible probate property. Lamentably, similar to each other piece of real estate investing, probate accompanies certain burdens also. In the event that buyer is anticipating buying the property through a probate court, the buyer may need to hold up a while. This is on the grounds that probate court forms keep going for a while. On the off chance that the deceased person did not leave a will, the procedure could take considerably more years even. So on the off chance that buyer wants to buy property quick, probate property won't be for the buyer. 6. Rehabs. Acquiring a troubled property can be an approach to locate the ideal home, settle and flip, or for rental salary. Some of these homes are prepared for quick inhabitants while others may take a lot of sweat equity and redesigning before anybody will have the capacity to move in. The buyer might have the capacity to get it on an upset property in the event that he utilizes the due constancy required to purchase any home and make a sound buy. Purchasing disclosed property can be dangerous business, and buyer have to go into it with his eyes totally open, knowing the advantages and dangers of purchasing a foreclosure, pre-foreclosure, or short sale. Regardless of which kind of seller buyer need to target, discover as much as he can about the property before he concludes that he really need it. Something that buyer ought to discover is if the house has any debt appended to it. The exact opposite thing buyer need is to hold up a while just to discover that the house has a current home loan or back taxes which buyer should pay off. Real estate contributing can help buyer accomplish his budgetary dreams and give the buyer the opportunity that he looked for. It requires some exertion on buyer part to discover real estate investment deals and sellers who are profoundly energetic to inventive real estate investing and selling techniques. 4 free samples of probates, inherited, foreclosures, absentees landlord, vacant, code violations, evictions list. Visit www.realsupermarket.com.